Hang on, not yet. Okay.
All right, Ron.
Good evening.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to our first elementary meetup. We hope to make this a habit. We'll tell you a little bit more about that a little bit later. It's so nice to see so many familiar faces and more becoming familiar. It's nice to see teachers, counselors, inspectors we have here too. So it's great that you're all here tonight. I'll just start by, let me just introduce myself to those of you who don't know me. My name is Devora Amar. I'm the new the new Chief Inspector of English for elementary schools. And I'm really excited to see you all here tonight. Let me start by sharing the agenda. Host, you need to allow me to share screen.
Sorry. Go for it.
Okay. Screen, right. Okay, so let me put that into presentation mode. Okay, so this evening, some of the things that we'll be sharing with you. First, I'll begin by speaking about some of our up and coming opportunities and updates. So trending now, updates and opportunities. After me, the lovely Sari Yomtov, National Counselor, will speak to us about the power of early language learning. Then DJ Howie will speak to us about e-talent. And then finally, Dr. Nicole Broder, also National Counselor, will speak to us about this year's writing project. Okay, so within my 15 minutes that I have here, I want to begin with a short check-in. And then, as I said, we'll go through these different up and coming events and speak about future meetup dates as well. So I want to do a quick check-in with you. Those of you who joined at the meeting at the beginning of the year, the back to school meeting with myself and Elias, we talked about how important it is for us that you have your well-being and that you're happy teachers. So if you'd like to scan the QR code, or I can put the link in the chat as well. I'm just curious, how is teaching going right now for you? So let me just put the link in the chat as well. Okay, I see some people are already doing it. That's great. And I'll go back in. Okay, in the meantime, I'll reshare if you want to scan the QR code. And I hope that we have lots of positive adjectives, emotions, words, but we'll see in a minute. Okay, I'll have a quick peek and see how many people have been adding.
We've got 40 responses, 41 and counting.
41 responses so far. I'll give you another half a minute to add some in. Ooh, I see some emojis. Okay. I see somebody wrote in Hebrew English by mistake. Okay, I'm going to share the results. You can keep writing though. Share screen again. Oh, I am sharing. Okay, so let me just go into present mode. Okay, so here's our cloud. I see that the biggest word is challenging. I can understand that.
We
You're
can't.
not sharing this, you're sharing your PowerPoint, not the...
I'm still sharing my PowerPoint. Okay, let me share the results. So here we go. Can you see it now?
Yeah.
Okay. So as you can see in the middle here, the biggest word is challenging. I see the emojis are mainly somewhat negative, let's say. Unfortunately, I see a lot of the words are sort of less positive, but here we have good, not bad, complicated, hard, smoothly. Things are going smoothly. Excellent. I like that. Great so far. Not so bad. Juggling, overloaded. Okay, these are all, here's the Hebrew English one. Relatively well, increasingly positive. That's good. I'm just going to stop sharing again for a minute, and I want to respect everybody's time, but is there one person who feels that they want to share their word and why they chose that word?
Feel free to open your mic and just speak.
I don't mind sharing.
Go ahead,
Great.
Natalie.
I submitted too. I submitted challenging because it is very challenging. Because in each class, there's maybe 7 levels, also in their Hebrew. So it's very challenging to get everybody engaged. I'm trying to make it fun. That's also what I wrote. That is much easier if it's only fun in singing and games, but it's a lot of work.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, sounds like something that a lot of teachers can probably relate to. I want to turn this into something positive. So maybe for those of us who, today has been thank God, a quiet day. I live up in the north and we haven't had one siren, no rockets. Hopefully things are, going to continue and we'll be able to teach in a calmer, safer environment. So hopefully things are on the mend and will be, increasingly going better and better from now on. So I hear you, I understand you, but keep up your amazing work, everyone, and our students can only gain from that. Okay, so going back to my presentation here, thank you for sharing. Oh, yes, this way. Okay, so the first thing that I wanted to tell you about is that we'd really like to make these meetups something that we do a few times a year. I know that you have many other Hishtalmuyot and events and different things to do, but this is a way that we can share all the up and coming events. We can present things to you. We can keep you up to date. So try and join us for these meetings. We'll send you endless reminders beforehand. We should try to do it every other month. You can already write down the dates in your diaries. Our lovely Sarah suggested that we do it on different days each time so that if you can't make it because you have yoga every Monday, then at least the next time you'll be able to come. So these are the dates. In January, it'll be on Monday the 20th, in February on Wednesday the 19th, in April the 27th on a Sunday, and in June on the 10th, a Tuesday. And we chose these dates pretty strategically because what you'll see in the programs that I'm going to present, the different competitions and events coming up, these dates come 2-3 weeks before, so we can actually present and share and help you out leading up to the different events that we'll be having. I'll send the presentation later out as well, so you can record the dates, and of course we'll send the reminders. Okay, so some of the different trends, some of the different up and coming things to look forward to. And again, I know that you're, as you guys wrote, many of you overwhelmed, burdened, have a lot to do in the class. We still want to present you with all these national projects and ideas so that you can be part of something bigger and not just isolated in your own classroom, but part of the whole national forum. So 2 new things that are coming up. One is a monthly newsletter that we're going to have. Short, concise, sweet, but we'll give you the information that you need to know about what's going on. So keep your eye open for that. The writing projects I'm not even going to go into because Nicole is going to go through it step by step soon, but be part of it. It's another way to get your learners to be productive, to share. It can be, okay, Nicole will tell us about it, but to get them productive, let's say, and it can be a competition. Coming up in April, not in April, sorry, in February, within the whole country and all of the different disciplines, it'll be AI month. And in the English field, we want to be on the map, as they say. So we're going to have 3 different aspects that we're going to present to you in the next meetup. and send out to you. We'd like to have tools for you to use with your learners in class, tools for you as teachers to use yourselves, and also a unit in English about what is AI. So this is coming up, and in the month of February, as I said, the schools will be working on AI in all the different disciplines in Hebrew and in math and music. So why not put English there as well? Okay, we're also going to have our first National English Day from early education, from EE level in kindergartens, first grade, all the way up to Bagrut level to the 12th grade. In March, we're going to have our National English Day, and the theme this year will be triple well-being, which relates to self-care, people care, and earth care. We're in the process now of creating units, creating events, and it will all lead up to one day, an English day, a Yom Si, where the whole country can participate in live stream activities, in recorded activities, in sharing different materials that they've created towards competitions. And you'll also receive all kinds of units that you can work on according to the level, so that we're doing something at the national level. The whole country in English is working on a united kind of topic and project. So keep your eye open for that as well. Another thing that is going on in the country, obviously this year, is the 22nd Maccabiah Games. They'll be held in July 2025. And again, the whole Maskirota Pedagogit will be working on different units in the different subject matters. So again, 4 years ago, Nicole created beautiful units related to the Maccabiah in English, and Sigalit in the WhatsApp project. That's another thing we'll present to you in an upcoming meeting. And again, keep your eye open to find all the material and the units and to participate in it. It's international. Okay, so what I'd like to, before Sarah goes on, just to say, I'm again happy to see, let me see how many people we are at right now.
242.
How many?
242 and a few on the YouTube as well.
Great. So over 200 English elementary school teachers are here. And I hope that this becomes a place for us to meet. I'm happy to see all of you and to hear from all of you. I'm here for you. My email is here. Feel free to be in touch. And stay tuned. News updates trending now. So thank you very much for being here. And I'll stop sharing so that we can move on to Sarah.
Okay, thank you. Good evening, everybody. It's lovely to see all of you. I know many of you. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen. Minute. Here we go. Okay, I tried this out with Susie before. Let's see if it works. Okay. There we go. Wonderful. You can all see my screen?
Yeah.
Yes, because I'm
Yeah.
using Canva, so it's a little bit new for me to use the PowerPoint for that. So good evening, everybody. My name is Sari Yom Tov. Very happy to meet all of you and see all of you here. I am a national English counselor, and I am also an English teacher in Modin. And I'm also a counselor for Jerusalem, for the Jerusalem region. Nationally, I'm running together with Dr. Nicole Cohen, Broder, the Enjoy English program, which is created to expose kindergarten and first and second grade students to English, which is really, really a lot of fun. We're doing this together with quite a lot of lovely madrichim who are here this evening as well, counselors. And today I really want to explain why it's so important to start teaching English, exposing children to English at a very young age. And I also want to show you where you can find a lot of materials. So why is it so important? Why do I believe it in so much? There are there are a few reasons. First of all, are the cognitive benefits. Research shows that young learners' brains are very, very flexible. They're like sponges. Okay, they absorb a lot of new information. So when children learn a second language early, they're not just learning the words, they're also actually learning how to learn, which is very interesting. That really helps them with problem solving, and it boosts their creativity and their critical thinking. So another thing that's very important, it helps with the pronunciation and the accent. The earlier you start, they copy the pronunciation and accent better. Okay, when you start later, it's harder. And it also helps a lot with the academic success. So why are first and second grades so ideal? Well, first of all, they really have a lot of curiosity and they love to play. So it's fun to start early with them. They're open for new experiences and they're not afraid to make as many mistakes as the older children are mostly afraid of. Like bouchot, right? Kind of like, why should I speak in English? Maybe I make a mistake. Another fun thing is that they really love to listen to stories and to sing songs with you. And it makes it very effective. Also, it gives them the habit that later on they will love to study English. Okay, so it's very important to start early. So what kind of strategies do we use? First of all, we use a lot of songs, a lot of stories to make it as low stress as possible. Just fun. Okay, so first of all, you can have all kinds of role play with them and simple dialogues and songs and games. And we also believe a lot in TPR, total physical response. So if they learn the word jump, everybody jumps. And when they learn the word run, everybody runs. There's so many games you can play with the younger ones. So this is all very nice, Sarah. But how do I know what to do? And where can I find all of these songs and all of these stories? Where can I find them? So we made a website, Nicole and I, together with our lovely counselors, like I see Monica here, and we have also Yael here, and I'm sure there are more. I just can't see all of them here. So we all work together and we make a lot of materials and we put them on a site, and everybody can use that site. Even if you're not in our program, every school can go in and just use these things. So let's have a look. Where can I find it? So first of all, you probably all know the portal. I really hope you do. Let me open it up for you for a minute so you can look at it together with us. And I'll take you through it step by step.
You're not sharing.
I know, because I want to open it first. And then I don't have to jump through many things. I have a system going on here. Now I'm sharing, right? Okay,
Yeah.
good. So you don't even have to like sign in or anything. You just go into the portal and you go straight to the Mergave Pedagogy. And then you have Tchum Dat, you go to English, Minastam, and Yesodi. Okay, now here you've got a lot of interesting things, but now we're talking about the younger ages, so let's concentrate on that. First of all, if you have a look here, there are two that I want you to look at. First of all, there is here English for young learners, Enjoy English, that's our project. And you also have 5 minutes of English. And before I forget, I really want to talk about 5 minutes of English. 5 minutes of English, I don't know if you know it. Let me show it for a minute. It's a great, great program that anybody can use. Also the homeroom teachers in first and second grade, you don't need to be an English teacher. You can show this to the teachers at your school. And now the winter is coming and it's cold outside. And sometimes they have to stay inside and they can't go out. They can watch this lovely 5 minutes of English videos in class while eating their sandwich, while staying inside. They're very, very short videos of about 5 minutes long. And they introduce new vocabulary every time with songs and games. It's a lot of fun. So first of all, have a look at this. This is great also for your English lessons, but not just. Anybody can go in and use this fantastic tool. Another one, if you're going to enjoy English in here you've got all kinds of ideas for songs, okay? According to categories. So you've got colors and numbers and feelings. But when you go up here, there's this little link here, which sometimes people cannot find. So really on the top, there's a little link that takes you straight to the site. On this site, this is the site made for this program. But again, anybody can use them. Here you can see who the counselors are. And that's also why it's in Hebrew. This is made for kindergarten teachers and for first and second grader teachers who are not English teachers. But again, everybody can use it. Just to explain why this is in Hebrew. If you go to Chomrei Hora'ah, you can find a lot of things. First of all, you can see here, you can click here, you can find a lot of songs according to holidays, according to seasons. Here you have stories. It takes you to stories that you can read out to your classes, show videos about the stories, and also speaking. Let me go into speaking before I finish. On this site, you can find great ways to start speaking with your students and let them speak. So first of all, we have a link here to Speak Up snippets. It's from the Speak Up site where they have very, very short snippets, very short conversations that you can have with your students. So if you go in that, look here, it's for preschool up to third grade. You can also use it in your third grade classes. And they are also, you can also listen to them on YouTube. So you can even send the link home to the parents and they can practice with them as well. Now let's go back to the site. 1 minute.
They're also for 5th and 6th grade.
Yeah.
If you go into the Speak Up site, there are a lot of things for 5th and 6th grade for speaking. Absolutely. So it's a site to know. Absolutely. So when we go back to Enjoy English here, there's another great videos called Easy English. I don't know if she's here, Osnat. I don't know because she wasn't really feeling well this day, but Osnat, who also works for Enjoy English, she made this amazing videos with a puppet called Easy. I think she has new puppets also. And they have great, great, great videos that you can introduce your students to. So again, there is so much material to be found here. I can talk about this for hours, but I don't have hours. So just go into the portal, have a look, go into to our site, play around with it, and you'll find a lot of things. If you have any questions, Nicole and I are always here. It's not easy. It's not hard to find us. And that's it. So I really hope I've convinced you to start as early as possible with your students. Even if you can't do it, convince the other teachers in your school to at least show some videos, sing some songs, and get them into the English mood. That's it for now. Let's go over to Howie Gordon. Yay.
Okay, thank you, Sarah. That was very interesting. And somebody wrote to you in Dutch, dank je wel, Sarah.
Yes, it's nice to feel at home with a little bit of Dutch here and there. Yes.
I'm going to speak for about 8.5 minutes. And when I get to 8.5 minutes, I'm going to give you something that you will not believe is just pretty much, I mean, it's so good, it's nearly free. But it's an amazing thing. And I suggest you at least stay awake for that. Okay, so let's share the screen, at least one of them. And we're talking about, we're moving on from Sarah and early English to a little bit later, and that is Learn in Tune and eTalent. And you probably have heard me screaming about this for the last so many years, but Learn in Tune is simply singing and having fun and moving in the elementary classroom. I think that as teachers today, we have the ability to allow kids or to make kids enjoy English. And if they're singing and moving and I'm not giving you all the info tonight, but I'm going to tell you exactly where you can get all the info. But that's one of the surprises that you're getting in another few minutes. So Learning in Tune is basically singing in English, bringing in songs that are suitable for the class from any age. And I even believe that even though the Bagrut, the standard, the grade 10s, 11s, 12s have got a lot of things on their minds, they also like singing. And there's no reason why we can't, but we're talking elementary. So we're enhancing our vocabulary, having amazing fun while learning, and we're using innovative ideas. And that essentially is Learn in Tune. So experiencing English through music is a great way to learn. It's fun. The students' language fluency grows as they hear the music, sing the songs, listen to the words, and engage with the vocabulary. because I'm short on time, I'm only going to give a snippet. But can you imagine if the kids could read as well as they sing? And that's what we really, that's the kind of level we want to get to. So I'm going to send you all the links before if you want to scan the pictures. But this is a link to a WhatsApp broadcast that I send out every 2 weeks, which is full of ideas to use with songs, with technology, with a little bit of humor, a few dad jokes they're called, and feel free to join it or feel free not to join it. And if you click here, you'll be taken to, I mean, it says click here, so we may as well click here. You'll be taken to the Learn in Tune site, and where we, when I say we, it's my whole party of one. We keep the site updated with modern songs and different things. For example, if I go into A to D, I think I added a D song this week. Don't Worry, Be Happy. And then if I go into Don't Worry, Be Happy by Bobby McFerrin, I go into Don't Worry, Be Happy, and there's all sorts of listening to the music. It's all kosher with regards to rights, because I don't have any of the videos on my site. It's a link to the actual song, and you go and see Bobby McFerrin, lovely, lovely Bobby McFerrin, and you've got all sorts of activities that have either been created by some other people who've got more time than me, or if I've gone into Twee and I've created things. Now, you might ask, well, how do I understand how to get into all of these? Well, that's the surprise is coming. I said 8.5 minutes. It's coming. It's coming very soon. So that's just one of the songs. We can go back, and if you choose a letter, let's see. Let's choose a name. Ola, can you choose a name and a letter? Any letter you want, Ola. Put your mic on. Choose a letter.
Hola.
You can choose a letter.
Any letter you want in the alphabet.
Oh,
Oh, okay. So let's go to O. I'm not sure if I've got O songs, but we've got One Day. Brilliant. Whew. Okay, so we've got One Day, and we've got all songs about One Day. One Day is by Matatiao, but Pay It Forward, Random Acts of Kindness. And guys, these lessons are ready. They're ready. They literally, you click on it, and Random Acts of Kindness, and they've all been sought after and seen. If something costs money, us as teachers, you just click on the back button and you go back, because we as teachers unfortunately can't afford those kind of things, but the schools can. So there's no reason why you can't go back to the school and ask them. Okay, so as I said before, if you click here, you can get to the WhatsApp group, and if you join, you'll be bombarded with one message every 2 weeks. And that's what it looks like. The next thing I want to talk to you about, I think I haven't spoken for 8 minutes yet, but this is the surprise. For 15 shekels, guys, 15 shekels is not, it's just more than a coffee at Aroma. For 15 shekels, you get a 30-hour course. 2 courses you could choose. One is about improving speaking, reading skills, and expanding vocabulary through digital tools, which if you use Mondly, it's geared for you. If you don't use Mondly, why not? And you probably will be if you join the course. And the second course is called Learn in Tune, where you will get 30 hours of just a little of what I'm talking about now, of using music, using movement, all the kind of things that your kids want you to do in the classes and more. How do you sign up for this? How am I going to, well, I'm not going to get you 15 shekels, but how do you do that? You go into the Matzpen. Matzpen is a compass. That means absolutely nothing to what the Matzpen is, but the Matzpen is basically a site where you go in and you register for the courses. There are 2 numbers, because we're probably going to run 2 courses. Hang on with the questions. And we would love to see you, that we, as in the people that are running the course, and we'd love to see you there at being one of us. So I think that's the last slide, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. So what I want to do is just open up if there's 1 or 2 questions, and I will put all the links into the chat the moment I'm finished, before Nicole speaks. So if there are any questions, I know that I rushed through this, but it is littleish late on a, what day are we? Wednesday evening, and I want to respect your tiredness. I see that everyone's in winter wear. It must be getting cold. So any questions? Perhaps we'll open it up to one or two. I'll stop sharing.
Are you going to explain about the eTalent?
Funny you should mention that. It's in my slideshow and I didn't even speak about it. So thank you. We'll call that a senior moment and we'll just move on. So eTalent. So eTalent, thank you for that. eTalent was established about 5 years ago, where during the COVID, and we wanted to hear more and more from pupils. By the way, yeah, the courses are all online from the comfort of your own home. So eTalent started off in the last 2 or 3 years as national competitions. We exceeded our expectations with the amount of videos that we've got. Three things happened that the courses basically, sorry, the eTalent had to be curtailed to a certain extent. One is that Flipgrid closed down, although we could find other solutions. Two is that we just exceeded our expectations, and the amount of talent that was coming through to us, we just didn't have the person power to go through and check every single video. And to say that one video is better than another because of all sorts of things, well, that leaves a bit to be desired. So what we're suggesting is that every school that runs an eTalent. We are here to support you. We'll support you technologically. We'll support you with the rubrics. We'll support you with the tools that you need. Unfortunately, we won't support you with a camera, but you've got a cell phone, does it all. And we'd love to be invited to your final shows. You can either do it online, you can do it that the kids film and send it to you online, or you do a live show. And nobody loves more than seeing little English being spoken in all around the school. So that is eTalent. When you get into the groups, into the group of the Learning Tune, you'll have my phone number. You've got my email in the list that I'm going to put now, and feel free to get in touch with me. If you aren't on the WhatsApp groups, you probably don't know about eTalent, so feel free to get in touch with me. So with 2 minutes, thank you to the dear person who reminded me about eTalent. How do you join and get more details? You write me an email, which I'm going to put in the chat this minute. If there are no more questions, or feel free to continue writing in the chat, and .com, and I will put all the links in for the people that missed the what do you call it? The QR code. Have a great evening. And before you go, Nicole is going to take us through to the next amazing project. Hang on, I'm going to stop sharing. I've got to do all things at once. Hang on, I've got to highlight Nicole, and I've got to stop sharing. I did stop sharing. Okay. Go.
Okay. Hi, everyone. Good evening. Can you hear me?
Yeah, loud and clear.
Great. Excellent. Trying out a new microphone, so I just needed to check. Firstly, I want to say how nice it is to see you, albeit on Zoom, but to see you at this time of night. It's almost 9 o'clock. We must be crazy English teachers. We must love what we do. We must really, really want to learn new ideas to take into the classroom. So well done, everyone, and thank you for sharing my passion. I'm actually babysitting at the moment. My grandson is next to me. I'm probably going to get fired, but that's okay. I'm sure I'll get rehired. So I'm trying to multitask. I hope I do this topic justice. So as you can see, this is our new writing project. This year, we decided to go with the theme of hope for obvious reasons, but also because hope is, well, something that without it, we can't imagine a future. So here we go. How are we going to bring the topic of hope, such a grand topic, but only in 4 letters, to our young students? Let's see. Okay, so what we're going to do here in the next 20 minutes or so, we're going to look at the rationale of the program, of the project. We're going to look at, for one tiny second, at the can-dos of the A1 level. We're talking about the writing environment. Where should our pupils be writing? This is your E, by the way. His mummy is about to walk in and rescue me. How we can get them to write with purpose. We're going to be talking about different types of content that relate to hope. It's not all about a national kind of hope, but also an individual hope. Amazing. Thank you, Talia. Mummy has arrived. And we are also going to be running for the 4th year running a writing competition for our 6th graders. And yes, there will be district awards. We will also have national awards together with a national award ceremony for those amazing, amazing children who show us how much they love writing and how much hope they have. So yes, hope allows us to believe that anything is possible. 1 second, Talia, can you shut the door, please? As you can see, there are many, many words, lexical items, ideas and associations with the word hope. Mainly, I like it because it fits in very well with social and emotional learning. If we hope, then it allows us to dream. It allows us to have positive self-talk. It allows us to plan for a more optimistic future. And these are really concepts that we want to instill, not just in our children and our pupils, but in ourselves as well. Here we have a couple of hopeful quotes, as you can see. And this picture, actually, if we already mentioned AI, and AI is actually from an AI website, and that's why I didn't need to cite where I got it from. I understand that. So you'll see that some of these beautiful photos can be found using AI, and we don't need to worry about legal copyright or breaking those copyright laws. So writing it real, social and emotional competencies, definitely writing as well as speaking, as well as reading, as well as cooperating with our classmates. All of those can enforce our social and emotional competencies. We're just talking about writing now. So again, what are our social and emotional competencies? Well, all of these are, you can see in the wheel, and in fact, all of these are as well, that you can see in the small squares. But the project of hope is definitely going to enforce these topics that are highlighted in yellow. Talia, I've got like 200 people watching right now. We have resilience, problem solving. Give him to me a second. And responsible decision making. As you can see, he will be quiet now because he is with his grandma. So resilience, problem solving, responsible decision making, all of those are going to be worked on, these competencies, while we think about and while we write about hope. These are all actually tools for building resilience. And as you can see, my favorite one here will be creative writing, which is what we're talking about doing. I don't have time to play these gorgeous YouTube clips right now, but I think that anything can inspire us to have hope. Music is definitely one of them. I know that Howie will wholeheartedly support that notion. And if you go onto YouTube or you take a look at this PowerPoint once it's been shared with you, you'll be able to be inspired, and perhaps your pupils will too. I think writing can springboard off from anything at all. So music is one thing, perhaps fairy tales, stories are another, okay? And anything else, pictures as well, why not? Why teach writing? What's your favorite one here? Since I can't hear you, I will tell you that incredibly, writing boosts reading comprehension, because the more children write, the more they take in the way that language works, the way that the written words are put together in a structure, and the better they understand texts they read. So actually, when parents come over to me and say, how can I improve my child's writing? I'll say, get them to read more, take them to the library, or take out some library books, and vice versa. Encourage if we encourage us teachers and together in conjunction with the parents, encourage our pupils to write, their reading comprehension benefits too. Okay, so actually I took this photo in a school in Pisgat Ze'ev. Really liked it and snapped a picture of it. And yes, all of these reasons are ways that writing can cater to SEL, to heighten social and emotional learning, heighten social and emotional competencies. And at the end of the day, writing is, in my eyes at least, the hardest, the most challenging skill in any language. And once children have got that down pat, it definitely motivates them to succeed and to want to succeed in other subjects and in other aspects of learning a foreign language. So all of these things explain why our students find it difficult to write in a second language. And suddenly, even starting with organizing their ideas on paper is so difficult that we have to empathize with this challenge. Here we have the can-do statements from the English curriculum. Have a look at those. Certainly, this one, the last one in green, online conversations or discussions, definitely are more recent. No, just leave him here. He's doing well. Just stay here. Stay here, Rory. That's okay. And here we go. So writing projects from beginning to end. I'm not going to read every single word because I am sharing this PowerPoint with you and you can look for yourselves. But certainly the first thing we have to do when we decide to teach a topic is to teach vocabulary items from band 1 and also, of course, remember from pre-band 1. We don't want to forget that our elementary students don't just revise and use vocabulary band 1, but pre-band 1 from grades 1 to 3 should also be included in our constant revisions and practice of vocabulary. First, we need to introduce the project. Children mainly want to know, is it for a grade? Are there prizes? Is it just for fun? Do I have to do it or is it optional? So you decide, you're the teacher in the classroom, and I will leave it to your discretion. What is the purpose of the project? Scaffolding, again, is something that I'm sure we all do. We all try and make the writing experience as user-friendly as possible. We try and give the children as much help, vocabulary, lexical items as possible before we say, okay, now we're all going to start this process. When we talk about hope, again, this photo is from AI. Yahel, I think you can write the website where I got that from because you taught it to me. But have a look at the different types of writing projects or pieces that children may want to write about. So perhaps write a letter to the tooth fairy. I know my own children used to write letters to the tooth fairy. What they didn't know at the time was that my husband actually always was the tooth fairy. And so the letters are now stored in his bedside drawer.
What? There's no tooth fairy?
Well, I'm not going to spoil the secret, Howie, but in our house, it's my husband. But yes, children may want to write a letter to the tooth fairy, particularly if the tooth has been under the pillow for some nights and the 5 or 10 shekel or more, if they're very lucky, hasn't appeared yet. Have a look at those other ideas and see what you fancy. Hope during the war. Yes, we are definitely hoping for peace, but right now there is still a war, at least down south. And we can relate this project to what's going on now and what the children are thinking about, what they're hoping for. Think about all those children in the north and some in the south, in fact, many still in the south, who are just hoping to go back home as soon as possible. Okay. I think here we have a few different things that we'd like to say to our students if we could. So yes, read your final draft before you submit it. Use the checklist. What checklist are we talking about? I'll come to that soon. And when they come to writing, they have all these different genres that they can pick from and many more. This is the writing process wheel. Okay, we first tell the children to pre-write, brainstorm, etc. Can be collaborative, should be collaborative even, and not individual. Then we get them to draft, revise, proofread, and eventually publish. And actually, in terms of the school setting, publish means send it to the teacher. Here it is. This is in English for elementary children. If you want, and this is totally fine by me, you can translate this into the children's L1 and then give it to them. This might be a little tricky for them. Okay. Yes, why indeed should we use class time for writing? So have a look at those. I love the idea of collaborative brainstorming, collaborative writing, so much fun. And once, many years ago, when I was in Eilat, I went into a classroom, in fact, Yulia Michurin's classroom, a former primary school teacher in Eilat, in Almog school, and she was lucky enough to have an English room, and there she had these whiteboard desks. So children were sitting around the whiteboard, writing all kinds of ideas on there, and then deleting them, erasing them, and starting again whenever they wanted to change their minds. And it was just such a wow moment for me to see this option that I'd never seen before. 1 second. So how can we prevent our pupils from getting AI to write for them? I'm not going to give you the answers. I want you to think about the answers, but please not now. But certainly getting them to write in the classroom and allotting time for children to write in class without their laptops open, if they have laptops, without their phones, within reaching distance, could definitely be a benefit. Here we have a beautiful sample of how even our weakest, most struggling learners can start writing, okay? We can get them to draw. And if possible, we can get them to write a few words by their drawings. And have a look at these two. I know they look similar, but they're not. Because on the left, we have a letter to my future me, but with ideas underneath. In other words, we get hints from underneath. So that's much more guided writing. Whereas on the right, we have another sample of a template for writing, but it doesn't give so much guidance. There's less scaffolding, in other words. So we need to differentiate our instruction and make sure that each child is challenged in some way. I always learned that challenge equals learning. So let's remember that as well, from our most struggling child to our excellent achiever. This is the students' checklist that I mentioned before. Students should get a copy of this, and every time they see that they have done something, that they can check off one of the components, they should. All of those things should be checked by them before they submit it to their teacher. Here is our own assessment sheet, and actually it mirrors the assessment sheet or the checklist of the student. And this is a writing competition grading rubric, but it can also just be a writing project grading rubric. And this is what we use actually to help us with our judging at the final round of national entries. Constructive feedback, yes, I agree with John Hattie. I'm sure that many of you do too. There is no point, absolutely no point, telling our students to hand something in unless they get some feedback. And a smiley or a tick or a check, if you're American, or a sticker is not that constructive. Yes, it's very nice to make them feel good, but much more constructive feedback will definitely be more helpful for them. And that doesn't mean doing it for them either. So food for thought there. Okay, you can see that in a former writing competition, Gerut Fleischer, who I believe is here this evening, she made an award ceremony for her students who won their school competition, because a competition doesn't just start off as national, it starts on the class level, then it goes to the school level, then the regional level, and finally to the national level. And she wanted every single one of her class winners to feel good about themselves. We sent her certificates with the names of her students printed, and she made an entire award ceremony for the school in order to give writing in English a stage. Every child is a winner. This is Tamara Baraimov. Tamara, I probably pronounced your surname wrong, but thank you for also being a very faithful, loyal teacher who always likes to encourage writing in her classroom. And thank you for sending us that picture of your students and yourself feeling so proud in one of our writing competitions. District winners are publicized. Okay, we will let you know about them, and we would love you to share these notices with your principals, with your colleagues, and with your inspectors, of course. And what I didn't show you was, and I don't know how much you can see from such a distance, is that I always mention the name of the teacher as well, because without the teacher, children won't know how to write. So you guys are really, really important to me and to the process. This is an example of a winning entry by Nadav Smith in Orot Boys School, Bet Shemesh, and Jamie Zeligson is also one of our loyal teachers, now teaching in Sor Hadassah, and she will not miss a writing project or a competition. It's one of her loves too. And this is an example of a winner's certificate. Okay. Over here, once you get the PowerPoint, you can read all about the rules. You'll also be able to see the form for submitting the national entries. We're saying that this year, we would like all our entries to be in by the 27th of February. As we speak, I'm being handed a whole assortment of vehicles. Okay, the timeline is here too. And over here, you'll see a picture. If you click on there, it's actually a link to the most common questions about the writing project and the competition. Everything's there. I'm moving on. We're almost done. Okay, if you click on this picture, once you get the PowerPoint, you'll be taken to the Dream It website, and you can see some really great ideas and beautiful pieces of writing from our previous participants. Okay, I would like to end by reading the poem by a gorgeous little girl. She was in the 6th grade a good few years ago during Corona, so she must be in junior high school now, maybe even 9th grade. Shoval Amzaleg from the north. So she wrote this poem, and I'm going to read it because it not only was very, very pertinent to the Corona times, but it's also pertinent, I think, at least the topic, the theme of hope is pertinent too. So Swing by Shoval Amzaleg, one of our very own students. Swing, I could travel abroad. Now I can't go on a plane. I went to school. Now I can't do it. Again, I met with my friends. Now I can't get out of the house. I waited to play on my computer. Now I can't even look at the mouse. I was happy to learn from bed. Now I am sick of my pajama. I dreamt of my bat mitzvah party. Now it's all one big drama. I was in a lockdown. Then everything was normal. I was free. Now I am home again. Thank God I have my swing hanging from the tree. it doesn't matter actually what we do in order to encourage our students to hope and to hope for a better future. But in the context of this writing project, I would love to see you getting them to write hope, to write about hope, and to share it with all of us. It doesn't need to be perfect. In fact, it shouldn't be perfect. Otherwise, we might suspect that AI or their teacher or their parent did it for them. Thank you so much for joining me. It was a pleasure to talk to you and to launch this year's writing project. And I apologize for any background noise, however cute it is. Have a good night, everyone.
Nicole, thank you. This was really great. We put in a link for sign up. Please click on it before leaving. We already put it on, Nicole, something that I made. So it's there. So please don't leave.
Thank you so much.
But please don't leave before filling out that form, so we know who was here and we can send everything to you and be in contact with you.
We'll send you everything by email and WhatsApp.
Yes. Deborah, would you like to say something to finish?
Yes. So I want to thank, first of all, the Dream Team. We have a little WhatsApp group and we're the elementary team, but I think we have to change it to the elementary dream team. So thank you so much, Sarah, Nicole, and Howie for doing all of this together. And to all 200 plus of you English educators who are here with us, our children, our learners are blessed to have you. Hoping for endless, quiet, peaceful days where we can share in these kinds of experiences instead of other experiences. And I hope to see you all again at our next meetup. So have a good evening, everyone.
What timing? 2 minutes to 9.
Thank you.
Fabulous.
Thank you.
Good night, everyone. Be safe.
Good night,
Take care.
guys.
Good night.
Thank you very much. Thanks.
Thank you.
Hi, thanks, guys.
Pleasure.
Thank you.
I asked on the group at the beginning with all the resources that you showed, how did I get, can you, like how you get to them? You go to the portal, then you go to,
If
there's
you
like
go
a
into the
step by step.
portal, you have little tiles with all of the different programs. If you go into them, then they each have a link to their sites.
No, but I go like literally so like I go to Portal de Ho'a, then Merchav Pedagogi, then
Yeah, go into the English. If you just
Tchum
even type
Hadat English, and then
Yep.
I didn't see all the things that you were showing.
elementary, go into the elementary, and then you'll see little tiles with different titles. You can add more. You can't see all of them when you first go in. You press on something that says like Hosafot or X or Od, and then you should see all of those different programs.
Wait a minute.
Excuse me.
Yes.
I don't
How
see
can I
what
get
you're
the
talking about.
poem?
The poem?
Yes, I loved it. I would love to teach my students.
I see that Nicole has left,
Got
but
it.
if you contact Nicole, I'm sure she can share
We'll
it with
send you
you.
everything through your, if you just
Yeah, you'll
click
get
on the
the
link, we'll
you'll
send you
actually get the
everything. You'll get
presentation
everything.
itself, and it's in the presentation.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I will.
Thank you.
I found it. Great.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Yeah, I had to. I have it in English. This says more. Got it.
More. There you go.
Thanks. Yeah. Terrific. And Howie, I asked a question if I can do the learn and tune Yishtamut again. I've done it once.
It's very similar, although we're using a lot of AI this time. You need to check, I think, with the Pisgah, because I'm not sure you can
I'm not sure if I'm allowed to do again.
You're allowed, but I don't think you'll get a gmul.
Ah, okay. No, I
But
okay.
you could
I see
sign
there's
up for the
another one.
Mondly one, and it's going to touch on similar things, but it's different.
Right.
But it's worth it.
Okay. I'll look at it.
I mean,
Where
I'd
will be
love
the
to have
link
you again.
to where will be the
Thank
link
you.
to this meeting and the link to Nicole's
Okay.
presentation? Where it
It
will
will all
be?
be sent to you. We will send everything to all of you. If you fill out the form that you were here, then we'll have your email and then send
Thank
it
you.
to you.
Thank
That's
you
why
very
we ask
much.
for your email and everything. Okay?
Thank you.
No problem.
Good
Thank
night.
you. Goodbye.
Good night.
Goodbye.
Okay, I'm
Have a lovely
closing up,
evening.
guys. Have a good evening.
Have a
Yes.
lovely